Hi, welcome. So today it's going to be a new or something I did not do in a long time. I'm going to do a session about a single tool. So a review session, if you will. So it's a tool that really I used to use it like for several years, and then some month ago I decided, hey, you know what? Let's look deeper into it. I will tell you what it is in a second, no matter. Let's look deeper into it, and then I realized how amazing this really is, to me at least. So that's why I'm going to make this video to share this with you. And the tool I'm talking about is Linqpad. Okay, so if you know Linqpad, you probably will skip the video, I think. Or if you think, hey, maybe I didn't see anything you should not. Let's see. I try to cover not so much, but you know, my agenda is already full here on my site. I have a lot of stuff I want to show. And maybe I'm planning to do live sessions to discover this. Let's see how interested you guys are. Let me know in the comments if I should do a live stream on that, because it's always easier to go interactively with you on a live session. But let's jump right into it and let's have a look. Okay, so first of all, why Linqpad? I'm going to show you everything in a second, but the problem I face, for instance, is if I want to showcase something to my colleagues, I want to do a quick demo for myself, I always end up with something like this. Okay, so I showed this on this channel as well. I'm going to .NET new, and I don't know, console, and then the name is sample X, whatever it is, and then I'm going to create consoles. So ending up in, I have this special folder here in a lot of tests, like multi-threading tests and so on. Okay, great. So problem is, this either gets cluttered and is full of stuff, or I cannot remind myself of what was this sample about, because the API sample, whatever that means, what did I showcase there? So it's always a bad thing, and it clutters just around. It's on multiple folders, and usually it's just a simple thing. So for an API, probably not a good idea to use Linqpad, but for everything that is console related, whenever you find yourself in a situation, hey, let's do a console and showcase something or try something out for myself, then you might hop over to Linqpad. So let's look at this first from the website perspective. So what is Linqpad? Who's doing it? What's going on? Linqpad is a tool that you can install on Windows and on macOS. I don't know how long macOS is supported, but it is supported now. It's totally there. If you go to here, you can see it's supported. I will showcase today the current beta. I will show you the difference between the stable version and the beta. I'm using the beta. It's pretty stable. So I showcase this later. You see, I'm pretty excited. I want to order myself. I want to show you as much as possible. So, but first things first. So what is it? It's a playground. Nice, it's a claim. So you can instantly test stuff. You can query databases. That's why it's called Linqpad in the first place. You will see that I will showcase that. It's pretty amazing how he did this. He, meaning the creator of it. I will show you who this is. Rich output formatting is an understatement. I can even tell you, I don't know everything about it, but I saw a lot of stuff. And recently AI came into it, so if you're going to have code completion and stuff, it's totally there. Fully customizable. Yes, and you have BenchmarkDotnet integration right there, which is pretty great. I will showcase this as well. It's super lightweight, yes it is, which means it is not a VS Code extension or something like that, which nowadays it could be, right? Probably, I'm not sure. Probably not. But what the guy did, and the guy being, where is it? FAQ, here, go to the FAQ. And then you see it's done by Joseph or Joel Abahari. So he's a guy from Australia. I think he's from Australia, judging from his videos and his little accent. I couldn't find any actual stuff, so I'm not sure what's going on with him currently. I think the latest video I found is something around 2020 or something, but he's still supporting this, so he's kind of out of the public scene, seems like. He was at least a conference speaker, so I highly recommend, for instance, this video to get an idea. Sorry. You see, I just saw it together. It's one of the good old videos. Like NDC always has good quality speaker sessions, but this one is one of the especially good ones where you see a lot of code, which is not so common on nowadays conferences in the Microsoft universe. So totally check this out. I will put the link to that in descriptions as well. So he has a lot of conference related stuff here. The website looks a little bit outdated, but nonetheless very informative. His own website. Anyway, so that is what's going on. He has a lot of stuff. Next thing is pricing. So first of all, there's a free version, which is, I used to use this free version for several years. And then I decided to go premium. I now have a premium license on it. Now, for several years now, I'm running on premium. Prices are doable. I'm not saying cheap, but $125 per user, which, by the way, means, as far as I understand, you buy a license for every major version which comes out. So you get all the updates and you can have it installed for a long time. After that, you have upgrade prices for the next major version. So this is not a subscription. This is just if you want to upgrade now to Linqpad 9, what I did, then you have, you can, is it telling the price? Oh yeah, you need to add the price and then the current license then tells you the price. So it's cheaper then. So if you ask me, $125 per user in days where we spend a lot of money on, I don't know, GitHub Copilot subscriptions and stuff like that, I don't think that this is in some way overpriced. On the contrary, I hope you will agree after I showcase you some stuff and you try it out, maybe using some videos that you find online or my sessions. I think that's totally worth the money. There are team licenses as well for 10 or even more people. And I totally get it. This price is more than justified. You will see that in a minute. But you can start free, which is good, without any annoying stuff. Okay, cool. Then you can download it. And I did it already. So the current version, let's spin it up. And this is, by the way, totally written in .NET. If you ask me, this is WinForms. I think, let me do this a little bit. That was my last query. Let's not do this. This was just a test. So if you go to the About section here, it will tell you everything important with links and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, what I find really good is that he is very, very transparent about what he uses internally, which is very, very nice. He has obviously contributors on Linqpad code analysis. This seems to be an extension written by Dave Glick. Then he has a lot of stuff like ILSpy is integrated. There's an ILSpy licensed version coming with Linqpad. I will show you this as well. And down here you can see System Windows Forms data visualization, which points me into the direction that he uses System Windows Forms, and it looks like that. And at this moment in time, I have to say, I really appreciate that this is showcasing that WinForms is still, if you ask me, a very, very decent tool to develop stuff, even multi-platform. It's very, very nice in terms of settings. Let me go there. You have a search for the settings. It's, if you ask me, a pretty decent UI. In my opinion, you have a lot of stuff like editor, font, highlighting, color scheme, of course, key bindings, even a VI mode, emulator mode, code formatting, like the basic stuff, everything good, very quick. Nuget settings, because Nuget is integrated as well. I'll show that as well, and so on and so on. You have folder paths that you can adjust and whatnot. In the end, what this is, in the most basic scenario, is it's like a code playground for .NET. Or even, you know, he always shows something like this. Is my keyboard? No, 1 + 1. And then you hit F5 like you're used to it, and he tells you 2. Well, great. So you can do this, you can do hello, and then you don't need to write hello world, console write line and stuff like that. You can do instantly .NET related stuff. This is what you can do in .NET. Let me zoom a little bit, maybe with the font. You can zoom the font. Great. And then you have code completion all over the place. You can even hide extension methods to be sure. Can I re-add extension method? Is it coming? Is it coming again? I never tried this out. Yeah. Control H to hide extension, because we know that extension method can be dangerous. Anyways, let's do length. So not is it length? I don't know. 5. Here we go. So also you can see that Linqpad comes in a different, I would call it modes. He calls it language, which is because you have VB support, you have F# support, and SQL support, all in this tool. So, but inside of those, the tool is distinguishing between expressions, statements, and programs. So that's really nice, because an expression is just a single liner. You can have several of them. I don't know. Let's do first. But then you need to highlight what you want to execute. Hit F5 and then highlight this and hit F5 in order to, tell them what to do. If you want to do several steps in a row, you can convert this to, I'm not sure, is it now length? What is going on with me? Oh yeah, now we switch to statements, which means we can no longer do this single debugger stuff. So you would naturally do something like, this one. Okay. And then this one, which is always annoying, right? A little bit annoying, because console write line, it works, but console write line is kind of clutter. You just want to see something, the result, and there have to do this. I come to this later. I will do this with this example a little bit, some stuff here. We will see. So what you also have with this tool, and I think it's also in the, is it in the free version? I'm not sure. Is a debugger here or is it not? I'm honestly, integrated debugger is in the premium version. So premium version is this guy, and you have full-blown debugging experience. Full-blown meaning you have not everything that, for instance, Visual Studio might have. Like, I think every opportunity, every window, and whatever. But you have a nice state here. It's paused because you're on a breakpoint. You have debugger attached. You have automatically local highlighting. You have threads information like you are used to have it. You can add watches to variables and watch them. If you have locals, let me show this. For loop, can we do a for loop? You have even those macros. Let's do 100 and let's go and step in. And let's see, you have now I as a local variable, value 0. And as you're used to, if you go, you see that it's red now, because over the next iteration it changed its value. And now you see, as you're used, right? Do you see what's going on? Very nice. Let's get rid of this again. So very rich support here, I would say. And that is that. You also have decompilation. So if you go to some method and hit F12, what instantly will happen, it will open up ILSpy. So let me maximize. So ILSpy here, which comes with Linqpad in a version. So now you have decompilation, and you can go through this and do what ILSpy can do, right? C#, IL with C#, whatever you want. So now you can go really deep. So this brings some stuff which, for instance, Rider has an experience doing this, JetBrains Rider, to put your source code into decompiled code, which also means if you have this running, it's not only working like, if I have hit F12, now I see what's going on in that method, right? Which comes from the system assembly. I also, after I build, can go here, look here, here's the results window. Then you have some tabs, and one is the IL native tab, which is great. This guy is, I don't know, this is something else, if you ask me. So what you have is, you have the C# 1.0 version of your source code, so independent of whatever, not .NET, whatever C# version you're actually using here, this is giving you, like, what would it have been, what would it look like in C# 1.0, which is because a lot of stuff which is coming in C#, what is it now? I don't know, 15, 14, I forgot to count, is syntactic sugar. Doing stuff for you, like link and stuff like that is doing stuff for you. And now you can translate it to what is under the hood. And then you still can open it in ILSpy to watch it up. Next thing is, you directly see your own code in IL, all the opcodes and everything. And you even have it here as an x64 version to see, okay, what is it on that platform that I'm running on? So here you go. I'm not even sure, I didn't test it on macOS how it differs. But anyways, this is, I don't know what to say. This is easy, this is fast, this is nice. You have a lot of stuff here. For instance, another thing also great is the Roslyn syntax tree of your program. So I don't even know. Yeah, you see, when I switch here to console or whatever and length and whatsoever, it instantly switches on, and you see in the syntax tree where you are. I am not aware of any IDE that is able to do that, first of all. Second of all, in such a great speed. So you get all the information that you need. If you're going to develop Roslyn, you can try it out here. You can open your C# files here as well, and great stuff. Okay, so decompilation. Okay, let me not get ahead of me. The next thing is the obvious thing. If you go to tools and stuff like that, you see a lot of stuff. But the one thing that's interesting is, yes, you have Nuget integration. So let me do this. So what you can do, you can search here for, let's see, my packages, devdir, and you can add it to script. Add it to the specific version, add specific version to a script, or add the latest version to a script, whatever. You can do that. You don't have to be honest, because as soon as he detects a dependency coming from Nuget, he will ask you if you should add it. I will show you this as well. But you have full Nuget support. So what already is there is he has a local cache. So as you can see, I did some tests, and he already put some of the Nuget packages to its local cache, so they're already there. Nice stuff. Also included is a password manager. That's interesting. Let me show you this. So what he has, I think it's util. He has a global util class here, which brings you a lot of interesting stuff. I'm not sure, and I definitely want to understand how he's doing it, and I will show you some sample of it. But what he has is, he has a way to deal with secret values, which is very important for a tool like that. And, you know, Visual Studio.NET does it internally with unencrypted stores. I showed that in my configuration videos, which are called .NET User Secrets, totally okay. But he even uses the D API, so the Windows Protected Data API. I'm not sure what he uses on macOS, to be honest. I have to check that. Anyways, he has async support, but what you can do is, hey, give me the password of my secret, let's say. So when I do this and I execute it, what happens, because I never defined a password with that key, so actually he automatically says, well, you want to have a password, so probably you need to define it first. So let's do it. Let's write one and then hit OK. And now I get the output. Okay, so what happens if I open a new script and do it? I instantly get it. So the password store is shared between the so-called scripts or files, if you will. So he has multiple scripts. You can save them. I will come to this later. And you even have a password manager here, where you can change the values or delete the values or whatever and get rid of them. Very nice, very nicely integrated, simple UI. It couldn't get better than that, if you ask me. So nice. Here's stuff like that. You also have a set password function and so on. And this is great. Okay. What else is important? Password manager. So also something I detected just recently, right? So I was always when I'm doing regex, and I'm really bad at regex. I got the idea. I like the performance, but I hate it. I don't know. So what I often did, I went here to the web, and then I have some tools. And one of those tools is the online regex tester and debugger, for instance. So the basic idea here being that you have some sample text and then you put in something and now you have regex. And it explains you the regex in this scenario. So what I have now in Linqpad is the same experience but integrated. So what I can do is I can open the interactive regex evaluator, Control-Shift-F1. So if I go there, this comes in, and this is fully integrated. I can set the options for regex, which is pretty important, and I think it is using a whole bunch of stuff. I don't even know what's going on. So, but it's by default using the .NET regex format, export, I don't even know. So now here's an example that I did. So I have this text here, which is like a CSV, right? And I want to extract everything in between quotes, which is not so good. So what I should do, I need to learn regex, and I need number. Or I always forget how to do that. Common token, single character, digit. I want digit. Where is digit? Capture group. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let me go back. We can do this later. So what I'm saying, everything between two semicolon should be capture group. So, and what this tool is doing it with .NET here, this is already using .NET, it's showing you the matches, which is like, it is literally what you get in .NET. This is the structure that you get in .NET. And now you have this rich output format where you can you can do it there, and now you have even the .NET code to do that in your own stuff. Nice. So what do we have now? We have interactive regex evaluator, password manager. Okay, you have a process monitor where it beginning from your process, which is, by the way, Linqpad is the host process, and then you see whatever happens. In that video I showed you earlier, what he funnily explains is how he had to go to the limits of C# and .NET in order to deal with pointers and to write his own shared memory, because he needed it for Linqpad in order to enable debugging. And debugging means the debugger runs in one process, but the script here, the tab, runs in another. So what actually happens here, every script tab here is in a separate process. It's process isolated, which is great. All of that done with .NET. So if you're like me, seeing this is a very humbling experience. If you ask me, to see guys doing this with .NET, and then I'm doing like, I don't know, stuff, I don't know. So another thing which I really like is, let's do console write line hello. Okay, so what you can do, you can select code, any code, and then you have, I showed you the Roslyn explanation of what you have, but there is a build selector code with Roslyn methods. So if you don't know what this is, Roslyn can be used as a code emitter to also create source code, but in a declarative way. It uses a syntax tree, which is giving you the option to go to the single character of source code and to emit this stuff. So this is what he's showing you. And this is what it looks like. So if you, by Roslyn quota source at whatever, so that he's using Kirill Osenkov's Roslyn quota, which is, I don't know that tool, but it seems to help him. So this is using this is all read only, right? This is all doing not read only. This is doing, Roslyn is very fast because it's using, how it's called, I forgot. It's always this factory statement, so that whatever gets out of that is not dumped out and not changeable. It's immutable. That's what I searched. So Roslyn is creating immutable types. So this is why you have all those factory methods which create those stuff, and then you can call methods on them. And this is what you would have to write in Roslyn in order to get console write line hello. So you totally see how he's building up this and then passing in the literal and so on. And this is what this tool gives you. I'm not aware of any tool which has such nice integration, like right click and show me that inside of it. By the way, AI completion is here. I did not set it up. Let me go to the settings. So what you have to set up is your own AI provider, and then you have it. So you're totally free to use local stuff, I guess. I never checked it out. Now, this was like flying into some of the features which always amaze me. There's more to see here. Yeah, I totally encourage you to try this out. He has global search like Visual Studio has. It's great. It's just great, quick, very nicely done, good UI, like it. So now I told you that console write line is like clutter, right? So it's bad. So if you want to say, okay, I have a for loop, and then I want to console write line I. Okay, screw this, because you don't want to console write line. You just want to see it without stepping into it with the debugger, right? This is what you want to do. So there's actually a very nice way he did, which is an extension method called dump. So you just say dump, and then what happens is you get in this case, he's just dumping out I, which is an int, no problem at all. He's dumping that out. Okay, nice. But dump does far more, because this UI here can do more than you think. So what we do is var complex type equals new. Let's do an anonymous type. First name equals Alex, and last name equals Schmidt, which is my last name. And then company equals, no, company is Coding Freaks here. Nobody knows, because actually it's DevDrive. So now it's official. So let's do that. And oh no. And now let's complex dump this guy, same method. And now it looks like this. So now we have a visualizer for the fact that we have now an object which has no type, but I can still tell him demo, which is nice. And now I get a dump with like a section, which is very nice to see. And here you are. Now you have it. Great. So there's an extension method dump. By the way, there are a whole lot of extension methods, which you will see. Unencapsulate, let you dynamically access private members, for instance. So if you have a class and you have private members, you totally can access those using Linqpad. So having this in place, now we can go to IL native and look up our code. And we also see probably what dump is doing. We have syntax tree again. We could have AI and so on. And here we go. We have it. Nice. So this goes even farther. So let me show you what this can do. It's called Linqpad, right? So, and this name comes with a reason. And for that, let me bring up this, what I have hidden before. And let's concentrate on this connection window. So it's always hard to do database testing, right? Debugging, performance testing, what SQL commands are going on. You have some link query and you don't know how it's going on, so blah, blah, blah. So for this reason, I have connected here to a local SQL Server database, and it's using one of my databases. It's a real one, and we have some base data here, which is Azure Metrics. So first of all, I think I can right click on that, and now I have something like take 100, and I get a nice output here. Okay, this is a table output, which you easily can detect. It's the same as dump. Okay, cool. So let's use it in code here, in my code. in my code window. So what I have to do, I choose this selection, connection, and watch what happens. Oh no, he's not doing it. He normally, the first time he asks if he should add the entity framework and stuff in order to packages, Nuget packages, in order to access this. Nice. So now I was asking myself, the first time I used it, I have the connection, now where's my context? So actually it turns out you don't need a context. He did it so easy that he said, okay, you selected this. So what I'm doing is actually there is a context. You are the context. So what you basically can do is you can access the tables like metrics. Here it is. This is metrics, and it is a Microsoft Entity Framework Core DB set of metrics. So this is what you would have in an EF context. So now you have all entity framework and link to entities here. So let's do the toList async, and let's say metrics equals await, and now I'll do semicolon. As soon as I do semicolon, he switches to C# statement right away, which means I have multi-line. Okay, now I have toList async, and now I can do metrics.dump first of all. So my metrics, whatever, let's do it the full way. So here we go. That's it. Okay. On everything which he detects as a number, you can even click this and have the nice Excel-like, hey, show me how big is it in relation to other stuff, which is not sensible here. Anyways, you have it. But not only that, you have related entities. Let's go there. And now he says, I find, see that? You have the grouping now. I have this metric, and now I found resource metrics related to that. And then you even can go to the resource itself, which now tells you this is an Azure resource. And you can just cycle in and go into this deepness, because he detects automatically navigation properties. This is a navigation property in Entity Framework and that as well. So you have all of that, but not only this. As soon as you're here, you can go to the SQL statement, and let me clear this. Let me rerun my statement here. So now what you see is, in a very easy way, the Entity Framework generated SQL command. So let's do a little bit more. Order by, I'm not sure, metric ordered by, what is it, m dot, what do we have, aggregation type. Let's do this, execute this, and now we have order by. Now, after the order by, let's do a select, and then go to m equals new. Let me, maybe this one. And is he able, I'm not sure, is there a formatting thing? There is, of course. I never tried it out, auto format. Okay, I think let's do some stuff here so that you actually can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm doing a select. And then I'm doing, you know what, I'm only interested in the ID and the key. And let's see the aggregation type. Here we go. So as soon as I do this, he gives me the right command, which is just Entity Framework, right? But now in the results as well, I can no longer drill into it because I decided not to go to the navigation properties. As soon as I do, I just add a navigation property. Where was it? The resource metrics. That is the one-to-many relation, this metric, where in which resources is it used. Here we go. And now he has the list of resource metrics automatically expanded because I decided to do that. I think you can control this to not do it. But anyways, it's great. It is really great. It's fast, it's great, it gives you everything you need. Great tool. But that's not even everything. So what this is, by the way, coming with is it comes with an inbuilt demo database based on SQLite. So you don't even have to generate one. If you want to play around with that, you can use the in-memory data which comes with SQLite. So you don't have to connect your own database, which is also great. Nice. Okay, what else? Adding DB connection, we had that. So now, internal stuff which I detected and is very useful in Linqpad. So first of all, there's an interesting one. There's a caching. On utils, util dot, there's a cache method, which is interesting because it allows you to have a controlled in-memory, I think in-memory cache inside of Linqpad so that it automatically will, if you have like costly operations, it will enable you that you have this in-memory cache that you can use here as well. Then you have a great one. So let's say I prepped this. Let's say you have two arrays. The timeline will be very cluttered of this thing. Let's say this is my simple 1 to 3 and 1 to 4 array. So now what you can do with util, you have a diff function with one f, by the way, and you pass in both arrays. Okay, so what's going on? You do util diff and nothing happens because diff gives you a result. Var result equals. So let's check this result here. Is that coming out? No. Let's do this. So result is null, one step, and now we have a Linqpad result, which is kind of an object. You can see the result, the difference between the two arrays. Okay, cool. So let's do the most logical thing, do it in one line, and just dump it out, because we understood that dump is an extension method which takes whatever comes in from the beginning and dumps it. And script was modified, restart, yes. So this is, I don't know what to say. This is like, you literally, I never tried this out, right? So let's do a little test. But you see, right? It gives you the delta here. This and this are equal in those arrays. Here's the delta. Okay, great, right? This is Nobel Prize. If there's a Nobel Prize for UI, this should be it, if you ask me. So I know, I'm always like that. So let's go to a temp folder. Let's do something. Okay, let's do VS Code. Let's open VS Code as its code editor. Yes, I trust me. And honestly, int v1, we should get rid of this. This is move to recycle bin. Let's move this to recycle bin as well. This delete permanently, go, because I am in here. So let's create a file, file1, txt, cancel, should have created an empty folder. Anyway, let's create file1, and then let's write in hello Alex, and then let's create file2, hello Ben, whoever Ben is. I don't know, the first thing that came into my mind. So let's do the following. So let's go to Linqpad, and let's say first is file read all text, and now we need to be, I think it's on dtemp. Was it dtemp? Not even sure. Reveal in File Explorer, is it dtemp, right? File1, file2. File1, txt, and then double this, file2, second. Let's compare the two results. You literally can compare everything to everything else, which is, I don't know. Here we go. And now he says diff view, okay? Which is, you have that now, which is for debugging great. So, but this is not limited to that. So what we can also do, let me see where we can find complex JSON. Do I have some complex JSON? Can I find it? Let's go. JSON example file. What do we find? Oh, why not? Let's take this one, copy, and let's go to file1. boom, and file, boom. So all we do is region, I don't know, I will just add a space here. Okay, so this is dumb because it tells you, oh, save both of them. This is dumb thing. It's still cool because you have two files and you see the delta. Okay, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to say JSON dot Linqpad JSON node extension dump raw. There is so much. JSON serializer. And what is he giving me? I think using system text. Why not? Deserialize this one. Is that possible? And then I think dynamic. I'm always unsure what happens when I use dynamic. Let's see. And then do the same. He's already giving me some hints, but let's try this. JSON. So now, what do we get? We get this one. We get object does not contain definition for dump. So now it's an object. And I'm not sure if there is a JSON element. I'm not searching for dynamic. Dynamic is probably, is that JSON element? I'm not sure. Is he able to do this? Yes, he is. But it's not looking good. He has name and so on, array. And then it's probably a JSON element array. Not sure as well. Object 1. Interesting. What do I do? Let's check this. What do I get? First is having the things. It's not an object here. It's an array of this just. Okay, so he didn't do that very well. But you know where I'm heading for. What you could do is you take two complex JSONs and then you could show the difference on property level. Maybe when I make the demo, I show that. Also interesting, next thing is I showed you hello and then dump. You can do it all the time. What I found is there's an extension to say DumpTrace, and then you don't see it here. And I'm not sure where I can see the traces. I just found it. Where are the traces? DumpTrace, what does it tell us? Write Linqpad results window. Write to Linqpad result if the trace symbols is defined. Define trace. Should we? Define, what is he saying? Define trace. I think that's possible. Now we have it. So now you can have only results if trace is defined. So you can have tracing enabled. By the way, there's a lot of special syntax for Linqpad. You totally need to look at this. Okay, next great thing. Let's go back to my query, which was, what was it? Matrix. Am I still? No, I'm not connected. I have a new script. Let's go to my SQL Server. Matrix. ToList. Async. Oh, let's do ToList. And let's do dump. Just to see that it still works. F5. Okay, it does. So list metric. Where is it? Why is it 2 times? What did I do? Results. This is the metric. Oh, because ToList is already doing it. Yeah. ToList is already doing it. So now there's another extension method, which is mind-blowing. To spreadsheet and then open. Okay, let's try this. So what happens is exactly what you thought would happen. And now tell me that you're not excited. Because this is not only exporting it to Excel, I mean native Excel. This is, and that's what I'm saying, this is putting in real tables. This is what an exporter should do. I have some weird thing, but anyway. So this is now having a table, guys, on that. He exports it in the best possible way, like it should be done. And it's not even, if you don't want to, you don't need to store it. You can just look it up in Excel. You could also save it as an Excel file, native. And it's fast, it's blazing fast. Even big amounts of data are going in, no problem. So what you then get here, because it's a statement we instantly get, you as an output get the spreadsheet. If you open it, you still get, I think there's a result. Yeah, you still get a workbook as a result. So this is your result object, and you can look it up and see everything, even in the grid. Now you see it here in this worksheet, what properties it has, and so on. I don't know. If this is not amazing, what is it then? Okay, so other stuff. So from that moment on, I will switch over to some interesting stuff which is down left here. So first of all, I have some benchmarking sample, which is pretty nice. So I took it from him. Okay, this is basically some source code which does random number generator in two ways. So one thing, first of all, it's a byte of 1000, always generated randomly. One time he uses the new random thing, this one, to generate the bytes, and then he has the random number generator, and what we want to know is which one is faster. So usually what you nowadays do, you use BenchmarkDotnet, you bring it in, and then you have to write your console app, and then you run it in a certain way to be sure that it's optimized. So what we now can do, we have this syntax where those methods are simply lambdas to the real code which is in it, because it's a runliner. And then if you hit Command-Shift-B or right-click and then benchmark, select a code, what actually happens is he does all the heavy lifting for you. Which means, which is very important. So here's the book somewhere from the creator of, it's called, let me see, Pro.NET benchmarking. So he claims and has a whole chapter on how not to run benchmarks. Okay, you should definitely read this book from the creator of this. I think he works at JetBrains, and his name is Akinshin. Yeah, right. So, and he tells you don't run it in debug mode and so on, so on. Be very careful. So this is not the most best way to run it. I know that, I get it. But as you can see, this is so easy now. I don't have to do anything. I just have to write some code, and I'm not even sure if he has namespace imports here somewhere. I don't even know if he has the namespace import, how it works. I don't know. It just simply is a script which is executing .NET Benchmark in the background. You have the full log if you want to. Here it is, including all your system data and CPU data and whatsoever. But he reads the log. And he actually, you can see it here, he always brings in the benchmark code, and you can see how you can use BenchmarkDotnet in your own tool to actually get the information and not spit it out. You shouldn't do that, by the way, because the probability is high that you as deep into .NET as I am, and that means not at all. And that means you can easily mess up stuff here, not knowing what you do, so don't do it, if you ask me. If you're curious, go ahead. Otherwise, don't do it. So this is great stuff. So again, mark it, Control-Shift-B, let it run, and you have no control, obviously. It's default options. So for instance, what he's not doing is memory benchmarking here. He's not interested in that. This is basically performance benchmarking. But now you can see that system random, like the new random, is far, far faster than this random number generator.create thingy when it comes to huge amounts of number generations. So you should, for loops, you should not use this. For a single one, it's probably okay. But this is, I don't even know what, oh, memory is on. I was wrong. Allocated bytes is 0, which is interesting. I don't know if this is an error or if it's actually it. is what it is. I don't even know. So, great stuff. Benchmarking right there. .NET Benchmark. You don't need to write your console app if you want to do quick tests. So other samples, which are pretty amazing. So what you can do, you go to samples and it ships with those samples, right? So if you have it installed, you right away have it. So what he did is, first of all, you can download more samples. And he did it pretty cleverly. So what you're here, you're basically in the website. So this is the same website I showed you before. And for instance, the thing I showed you, the NDC 2017 here, pushing C# to the limit, you can simply go here and then OK. And then you have a new section. Where is it? NDC pushing here. And this is literally what he showed. This is what he ends up with. This is pretty amazing stuff. And actually he shows a lot of stuff that he did in writing Linqpad. This was 2017. It's a while ago. So great stuff. That's not what I want to show you. It's just to explain you can do that. Let me start with something which is this here. Let me jump into it. So what he showcased here is run the script to experiment with regular expressions. So all he's saying is that you also have the opportunity to build UIs. So what this shows is that actually the interactive regex evaluator wasn't even built other than using this code. So this whole output window here can literally draw UI. And you have like combo boxes and stuff all here. So I'm not sure how to tell you what I think right now, but I think who the H has the ability and the time to do such stuff. I don't know what's going on. This is great. This is great. What also is included, and a lot of people are not aware of this. Let me show you this. Is that showing it? Let me see that. This script generates a tiny whatever. Do this, and you now get this information. So why is this important? This is something a lot of people struggle with, especially when they have workplace computers. You install .NET, you work with Visual Studio, and your performance sucks, basically. So what people don't understand is that most probably what happens is an antivirus engine is running and is constantly between you and your performance. So there are several measurements you can take under Windows at least. I don't know if macOS even is a common thing, but what you can do is there is a thing called DevDrive developer. What is going on? Let's go to the settings. Do I have it here? Let's go to the settings and let me try on Windows 11. Let me try to find what I'm talking about. Developer features. So under developer features, System Advanced, you can have dev drives. Here it is. So it's like 2-3 years old, whatever. And this is basically there to tell Windows that, in my case, so what you do, you take a hard drive. Best way, you have a single hard drive. And that's my hard drive. And you split it from your other hard drive. It's a partition. And then Windows is formatting it in a special file system format. You can learn more here, by the way. And then Windows is taking it basically out and tells antivirus engines and its own BitLocker and whatever. REFS is the file system. Hey, this is a dev drive. It's normal that it has like scripts and stuff. It looks suspicious, whatever, but whatever is there, don't check it so heavily like you do on normal drives. So in order to check if this is working, what I could do now, I can run this little anti-performance test maybe on my Windows and then on my Mac. And then I can see is there a big difference. And everything is explained here. And if there is a difference, then probably my stuff is not working. By the way, all the samples I'm going to show you right now are also worth looking at it, because what the maker of Linqpad also did, oops, he also wrote books and is an MVP for Microsoft about C# in a nutshell. Latest book for that is 2017 for C# 12, I think I found. But anyways, this guy knows what he's talking about. And that's why I give him credit to build something like that, like the tool that he does, because probably he's not doing a lot of mistakes .NET wise. So I trust him with that. Okay, cool. So now, but what's interesting here. First of all, what's very interesting, now we have C# 14, right? So what he ships with Linqpad is, hey, if you want to try out some new features of the language, you can do it here, like extension members. Here we go. I think I cannot do it right now because I have C# 14 not available. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not going well because C# 14 is not there, I think. What is that true? Yeah, field, it's not working. Yeah, I don't have it. It's not a keyword. And I would have to add C# 14 support here, but I totally can do it. If I'm going to 13, readme first. Before running, you must either install .NET 9 or enable, yeah, okay, cool, params collection. So this was something that came in C# 13, and now I can execute it, and it works. And it uses dumps, right? Right away, dump, which is really great in testing stuff out. Telling you guys that this is how you can test features in .NET pretty easy. And he even brings in the stuff. This is constantly updated here. Okay, cool. But that's not what I'm going to show you. I want to show you the Linqpad tutorial. And you totally should, if you are going to download Linqpad after this, you should do this. So the one thing I want to show you right away is, and by the way, you can even search here, search samples. And what I'm gonna search for is neural, no, where is that? Not this one, download, import more, my scripts, and then navigate search, and then you go to samples, and then you go to here, neural network. Okay, let's open this sample. It is, where is it? Under Bling, yeah. Whatever Bling means. So, first of all, what you can see here, and this is documented as well, you have this sharp syntax to tell Linqpad run with optimizations or don't run with optimizations. So, in order to prevent optimization, you can totally write this on top of your code and say minus, and then no compiler optimizations are running. Anyways, I will run this right now to show you how far this goes. So, what's actually happening here, we now have, again, a Windows UI, and it's pretty amazing because it shows you that even system drawing is fully supported. And now what I can do is I can write numbers and he will use neural network to detect my writing. This is a 1. By the way, he's not very fond of my writing a 1 this way. So he's an American 1. So he thinks it's a 7. Okay, cool. And then he predicts what this written number is, which is pretty interesting because you can learn a lot of stuff from this stupid single 1000 lines of code. If you want to learn how neural networks are trained, why not? So pretty cool. This brings us to the thing, how do I stop a program? Like when you go to script, you can cancel and kill the process. And then you're done. And then what you see here, he's dumping out your bitmaps and your training data, by the way. You can use it as training data if you want to. The other thing I found pretty interesting is Mandelbrot, which always is important that you can support it, but here we go. This is Mandelbrot Fractal. And, you know, it's not far away from going to deeper. So when we go to the IL now, this is probably taking some... Here we go. Have fun. Syntax tree. Have fun, guys. This is massive. I don't know. I don't know what to say. This is great. So you can do stuff like that. I am not telling you this because I think you should now go from VS Code or Visual Studio or Writer or whatever you use over to this tool because that's not what intended. It's not a team we work together tool. It could be, for certain stuff, but you should not do that. We have no Git integration for reasons. There shouldn't be a Git integration, so I'm, for instance, storing all this in my OneDrive because it's file-based, okay? It's meant to be a cool thing where you go in a single file and you do stuff. You even can load other files, other Linqpad files, and use them. So you could, in theory, build something like a Linqpad solution. You should not, okay? You should not. Remember what he said, what this is all about. Anyways, with this now, we can go and show something like, for instance, charting. Where is it? Let's find it. Did I find it here? Am I not suing Linqpad controls, exporting, database? Where's charting? Here it is. Charting, intro. Let's do the intro. Simple, customers chart. You just have a chart method. Total orders and dump out the chart. Don't forget to dump it. Thank you for the hint. Go ahead, and it's not working because I probably marked something. Always when this happened, you probably did this. You marked some text and then it play and he cannot execute it. So you have a basic chart. So this goes on to this sample where you even have 3D charts. I cannot tell you how he does it, which library you use it, but it's looking good. Inline dumping, what's happening in inline dumping, you see, you can dump it inline into your, not as an image, but simply dump it. It's really easy to use. This could be nice. People using PyChart or Python workbooks for this a lot, which has a different option like step-by-step things and so on. But this in .NET, great. So that was charting. Another thing that I find very interesting is Entra. Where is that? Advanced features? No. Where was Entra? Entra. Exporting data, Azure. Oh, let me find it. Probably you already saw it. I know. Entra. No, it's Azure. MSRL. Here. Authentication with MSRL. So if you need in your script MSRL, all you need to do is you need to change your domain. That's literally it. That would be my company domain. And then you hit F5 and what happens is here you have your login experience and now you have everything you need. This is like now MSRL with Azure Managed Libraries or interactive with MFA. Let's try this one as well. So here's the sample code. And it's using the util function, util.azure cloud, public cloud, authentication endpoint, and so on. So you can use that in your script as well. So if you do this and you dump it, here we go. This is just what he provides us with. So you now can use authentication as well. If you have some source code which needs bearer tokens or whatever, authenticated by Azure, just do it. Really great. Then you have a lot of other stuff I will showcase in, or I will try it out in a live session that is coming up probably. What else do I wanted? Yeah, script cancel token. That is nice. I think it was in control. Again, let me search it. Cancel. So there's so-called soft cancellation built into Linqpad, which means normally when you run code and you stop it, you have no control over, oh, the thing got stopped. And by the way, it's also hard to do in Visual Studio, very hard, or anywhere else. He has more control over it because he's running the processes, and he did us a favor to say, okay, he's waiting now. And as he said, just stop your script, cancel, and now you get this output, which means that you reacted to the stop event. Here, that's all you need to do. And that's nice. Really nice. A lot of stuff there. Hook methods is also pretty interesting. So what this is means you can, in your script, you have like, not overrides, but you have methods that you can use that are already there. So you, first of all, you should not start or name your methods this way. Not good. But if you execute this, it tells you, okay, you can react to all those events on a on your script by just on finish, on start, whatever, reacting to that. Very nice as well. And last thing is this command, which I really like. So you use this command, okay? And then what it does, it actually works. Go away. This is great. So this is not even pinging, this is p-pinging, which is my tool. If you don't know what p-ping is, just search for it. If you find it on Coding Freaks, you know what it is. But now what? What is going on? This is utilcmd. It's giving us an IEnumerable of string, all the outputs. So every output line is here. So this alone is great. And it just works. Okay. So I just wanted, let me think, did I showcase everything I wanted to do today? Yeah. So maybe one last thing. So if you're downloading the current stable version, which is totally okay, you might wonder what's the difference between this and the new version that I showed you today. So let me put this on the other side. Left side is the current, I think, Linqpad 8, and this is Linqpad 9 beta here. So Linqpad 8, Linqpad 9 beta. So main differences are UI wise. So you have the toolbar is heavily extended on the new one. You have like options to optimize, so you don't have to switch on optimize, you just write it, and then optimization is on or off. You have dark theme or non-dark theme. All of this is possible here as well, but you have to use the menu. And as you can see, the menu is extended. Besides of that, modernized UI, it looks better, new logos, new icons, better color scheme. But besides of that, it's still working the same way. So it probably has some stuff like what's new stuff is always here. But this is Linqpad 8 and it totally works. Linqpad 9 looks nicer. And remember, I think with Linqpad 9, with this option, there was the first time that macOS was supported. I'm not sure, but I think so. I think Linqpad 9 is the first one. So download the beta. You don't have to go licensed. Just download the beta and use it. Okay. That's what I wanted to share today. So it's a pretty all over the place session. I have to do the timeline now. A lot of timeline steps for YouTube. I will do it. I hope this was interesting to you. I did it also because I think it needs to be appreciated what amount of work got into this product. And I hope you agree that $125 for a premium license whatsoever, unlimited time, just for this major version, no subscription needed, is a very, very fair price. I'm not sponsored or whatever. I wish I would. I wish I will be sponsored at some day, honestly, because I believe in this product. Anyways, this was nothing, just a fun sentence. Forget about it. I'm just saying, I am really convinced that this is a great tool. And as a serious.NET developer, you should consider buying it. Okay, that's it. Give me feedback. I will plan my live session and see you next time.